Welcome back to this channel. Thanks for your support. Do subscribe this channel. Click on the bell icon for further notification. For further doubts and clarification, you can follow me on my Telegram channel or Facebook page given in the link below. Now let's move on to the class. Find the equation of the ellipse with foci 0, plus or minus 4 and the endpoints of the major axis are 0, plus or minus 5. The endpoints of the major axis are given as 0, plus or minus 5, which indicates the vertices A dash as 0, plus or minus A of the ellipse. The endpoints of the major axis are 0, plus or minus 5, which indicates the vertices A dash as 0, plus or minus A of the ellipse. Therefore, vertices A dash is equal to 0, plus or minus 5, which is equal to 0, plus or minus A. Foci S dash is equal to 0, plus or minus 4, which is equal to 0, plus or minus AE. A is equal to 5. A squared is equal to 25. AE is equal to 4. On knowing A squared and AE, you can calculate the value of B squared. B squared is equal to A squared into 1 minus E squared. A squared into 1 is A squared. A squared into minus E squared is minus A squared E squared. A squared. Since the power is common, you can write AE the whole squared. The value of A squared is 25. The value of AE is 4 the whole square. So 25 minus 4 squared will give you 16. 25 minus 16 is 9. Therefore, the value of B squared is equal to 9. On seeing the problem, since the teacher is well versed with the problem, the teacher can solve the problem within few steps. But at the beginning stage, the student has to analyze the major axis to solve the problem. The vertices A dash is equal to 0, plus or minus 5 and the foci S dash is equal to 0, plus or minus 4 to be plotted. A 0, 5. A dash 0, minus 5. Foci S is equal to 0, 4. S dash 0, minus 4. On plotting the given data, the conic obtained is an ellipse with its major axis along y-axis. The equation of the ellipse with its major axis along y-axis is of the form x minus h the whole square divided by b square plus y minus k the whole square divided by a square is equal to 1. On plotting the given data, the conic obtained is an ellipse with its major axis along y-axis. Equation of the ellipse with its major axis along y-axis is of the form x minus h the whole square by b square plus y minus k the whole square by a square is equal to 1. This will be the required equation of the ellipse with its major axis along y-axis. Center C is the midpoint of the foci. S dash where S 0, 4 as x1, y1 and S dash 0, minus 4 as x2, y2. Midpoint C is equal to x1 plus x2 y2 y1 plus y2 which is equal to 0 plus 0 y2 4 minus 4 y2 which is equal to 0 by 2 0 by 2 which is equal to 0 by 2 is 0 0. Now this midpoint is nothing but the center of the foci which is also equal to h, k. The equation of the ellipse with its major axis along y-axis is of the form x minus h the whole square by b square plus y minus k the whole square by a square equal to 1. The value of h is equal to 0. X minus 0 the whole square. The value of b squared is 9 plus y minus the value of k is equal to 0 the whole square. The value of a squared is 25 equal to 1. X squared by 9 plus y squared by 25 is equal to 1. This is the required equation of the ellipse. Now we shall solve problem number 2 in subdivision 3 in exercise 5.2. Find the equation of the ellipse whose length of the lattice rectum is 8 with eccentricity 3 by 5 and center as 0, 0 with the major axis along x-axis. The question, it is very clear, they are asking you to find the equation of the ellipse where length of the lattice rectum is given as 8 and eccentricity is 3 by 5 with center 0, 0 and the major axis of the ellipse is on x-axis. The length of the lattice rectum is equal to 8. Therefore, the formula for the length of the lattice rectum is equal to 2b squared by a. The length of the lattice rectum is equal to 2b squared by a. Then eccentricity E is equal to 3 by 5. Then center C is equal to 0, 0, which is equal to H, K. Then major axis is along x-axis. Equating the length of the lattice rectum 8 with this formula 2b squared by a. 2b squared by a is equal to 8. Now if you see 2 and 8, the equation is divided by 2. Divide by 2. Therefore, this will become b squared by a is equal to 4. On cross multiplication, b squared is equal to 4a. So this will be equation 1. You have another equation for b squared in terms of a squared and e squared. B squared is also equal to a squared into 1 minus e squared. This will be equation 2. Equating the equations 1 and 2. Equating equation 1 and 2. 4a is equal to a squared into 1 minus e squared. Now if you see, a is common in this equation. Therefore, divide by a. So this will give you 4 is equal to a into 1 minus e squared. 4 is equal to a into 1 minus, the value of e is equal to 3 by 5. Therefore, 4 is equal to a into 1 minus 3 by 5, the whole square will become 9 by 25. 4 is equal to a into, now taking LCM, 25. 25 minus 9, 4 is equal to a into 25 minus 9 by 25, which is equal to a into 25 minus 9 will give you 16 by 25. So now A into 16 will give you 16A by 25, which is equal to 4. On cross multiplication, 4 into 25 is equal to 16A. So this will give you 100 is equal to 16A. Now if you see, 4 is common. So divide by 4. So this will give you 25 is equal to 4A. 4A is equal to 25. A is equals to 25 by 4. A is equal to 25 by 4. A squared is equal to 25 by 4 the whole square. 25 squared will give you 625. 4 squared will give you 16. Therefore, A squared is equal to 625 by 16. B squared is equal to 4A. This is equation 1. Now, substituting the value of A is equal to 25 by 4. 25 by 4. So 4 and 4 will get cancelled. Strike it neatly with a pencil. So B squared is equal to 25. A squared is equal to 625 by 16. B squared is equal to 25. H comma K is equal to 0 comma 0. Since the major axis is along x-axis, equation of the ellipse with its major axis along x-axis is of the form x minus h the whole square by a square plus y minus k the whole square by b square equal to 1. The equation of the ellipse will be x minus h the whole square by a square plus y minus k the whole square by b square equal to 1. X minus the value of h is equal to 0 the whole square. The value of a squared is 625 by 16 plus y minus the value of k is 0 the whole square. The value of b squared is 25 equal to 1. X minus 0 the whole square will give you x squared the whole divided by 625 by 16 plus y minus 0 the whole square will give you y squared by 25 equal to 1. Now x squared by 625 by 16 will get multiplied as a reciprocal. X squared 16x squared by 625 plus y squared by 25 equal to 1. Therefore, 16x squared by 625 plus y squared by 25 equal to 1 will be the required equation of the ellipse. We have done 3 problems in determining the equation of the ellipse. Now, we should be in a position to solve the 4th problem without any difficulty. Before solving the 4th problem, let us analyze and study the problems which we have done earlier. Now, we have listed into 2 columns. Column 1 is type, column 2 is the given parameters. Type 1. The type 1, what is given to you? Foci is given as plus or minus 3, 0 and eccentricity E is given as 1 by 2. When foci is given as plus or minus 3, 0, you should be in a position to denote what is plus or minus 3, 0. Plus or minus 3, 0 is nothing but plus or minus AE, 0. And next is eccentricity E is equal to 1 by 2. With the help of foci and eccentricity, how we are going to solve the problem? Now, plus or minus 3, 0 is equal to AE. Now, in this case, the midpoint of the foci will be the center of the ellipse. Now, in this, you must know the formula for midpoint. The formula for finding the midpoint will be x1 plus x2 by 2, comma y1 plus y2 by 2 will give you the center. And the center coordinates will be denoted as h, k. With the help of this, you can solve the problem. But you should know one information, that where does the major axis lie upon? For that, you plot the given data and find the major axis along x-axis. As it is very clearly denoted in the foci that the coordinates are given in the place of x. The coordinates are not given in place of y. The coordinates of y is given as 0. Therefore, it is very clear that the major axis is representing along x-axis. Therefore, the equation of the major axis along x-axis is of the form x minus h the whole square by a square plus y minus k the whole square by b square is equal to 1. Are you clear with that? Now, let us go to type 2. In type 2, what is given to you? Foci is given as 0, plus or minus 4 and endpoints of the major axis are 0, plus or minus 5. Now, you should try to denote this foci 0, plus or minus 4 as what? So, foci 0, plus or minus 4 is nothing but 0, plus or minus AE. Next, the endpoints of the major axis. Now, the endpoints of the major axis are 0, plus or minus 5. That is representing as 0, plus or minus A. Now, you have A, you have foci as AE. With the help of A and AE, you can establish B square. What is B square? B square is equal to A squared into 1 minus E squared. Now, what do you have? You have A. With the help of A, you can determine A squared. And with the help of AE, what you can determine? You can determine AE, and that AE, the whole square, will give you 16. So, you can establish the value of B square. Next is comparing the first problem and the second problem. What do you find? You find one thing, that is, here plus or minus 3, 0 is x coordinate and y coordinate. And here 0, plus or minus 4 is x and y. Now, in this case, if you see, x is representing 0. Y only is representing a value as plus or minus 4. Therefore, it is very clear that the major axis is along y-axis. So, next thing, in order to find the major axis along y-axis is after well versed in the problem. But in order to represent graphically, the midpoint of the foci will give you center. Similarly, the midpoint of the ends of the major axis, that will also give you center. So, which is convenient for you, you can take it. But here in this problem, it's very clear, the center is equal to 0, 0. Now, you have calculated a squared, you have calculated b squared, and you also know what is h comma k. H comma k is equal to the coordinates of the center, which is equal to 0, 0. Now, equation of the ellipse with its major axis along y-axis is of the form x minus h the whole square by b squared plus y minus k the whole square by a squared equal to 1. Hope you have understood very clearly. Now you can establish the problem to be solved. Now let us pass on to type 3. In type 3, if you see, there is extreme word problem. What is that? Length of the lattice rectum is given as 8. Eccentricity E is given as 3 by 5. Center is given as 0, 0. Major axis along x-axis. So many data are given. I think that you can solve the problem very easily. But in order to solve that problem also, there may be a twist in the problem. Let us see. Length of the lattice rectum is equal to 8. You must know the formula for the length of the lattice rectum. The formula for the length of the lattice rectum is equal to 2b squared by a. Now, equating 2b squared by a is equal to 8. B squared will be equal to 4a. That is equation 1. And next is what? Eccentricity is there. With the help of eccentricity, what we will do? You have another formula that b squared is equal to a squared into 1 minus e squared. Now, substituting the value of e squared, you will have an equation of b squared in terms of a. Already you have one equation, b squared is equal to 4a. Now, equating both the equations, you can develop the value of a. Once you have developed the value of a, you can establish a squared. After establishing a squared, you can go for the first equation. B squared is equal to 4a, and you can find the value of b squared. B squared is known to you. A squared is known to you. When these things are known to you, center is very clear that it is 0, 0. So that is equal to h comma k. On knowing a squared, b squared and h comma k, you can develop the equation of the ellipse. Now, since the major axis is along x-axis, equation of the ellipse along the major axis along x-axis is of the form x minus h the whole squared by a squared plus y minus k the whole squared by b squared equal to 1. Now, we have got an extreme knowledge of all the three types. Now, let us distinguish how we are going to solve the fourth problem. Type 4 is given as the parameters are length of the lattice rectum is equal to 4, distance between the foci is equal to 4 root 2, center is 0, 0, major axis along y-axis. Now, the length of the lattice rectum is equal to 4. You must know the formula for the length of the lattice rectum. The length of the lattice rectum is equal to 2b squared by a. Then, the distance between the foci is equal to 4 root 2. For this, you must know the formula for the distance between the foci. The distance between the foci will be equal to 2ae. That will be your second equation. Center is 0, 0. So, that is very clear. That center 0, 0 is representing h comma k. Therefore, h comma k will be equal to 0. Major axis along y-axis. So, equation of the ellipse with its major axis along y-axis will be of the form x minus h the whole squared by b squared plus y minus k the whole squared by a squared equal to 1. Now, you can solve this problem very easily. With adequate knowledge of this, you should establish what are the datas
given in the problem and what is asked in the problem, how to solve the problem without any hesitation. Hope you have understood all these problems. Now let us move to solve the fourth problem.
Find the equation of the ellipse whose length of the lattice rectum is 4. The distance between the foci is 4 root 2. Center is 0, 0 along the major axis as y-axis. The length of the lattice rectum is given as 4. The length of the lattice rectum is equal to 4. The length of the lattice rectum is equal to 4. You must know the formula for the length of the lattice rectum. The formula for the length of the lattice rectum is equal to 2b squared by a. The length of the lattice rectum is equal to 2b squared by a. Next is the distance between the foci is 4 root 2. The distance between the foci is equal to 4 root 2. The distance between the foci is 4 root 2. You must know the formula for the distance between the foci. The distance between the foci is equal to 2AE. The distance between the foci is equal to 2AE. Then center is 0, 0. Clearly, h, k is equal to 0, 0. Center C is equal to 0, 0, which is also equal to h, k. The next is major axis along y-axis. The major axis is along y-axis. Therefore, the major axis along y-axis will be of the form x minus h the whole square by b square plus y minus k the whole square by a square equal to 1. Equating the length of the lattice rectum 4 with the formula of the length of the lattice rectum 2b squared by a. Equating the length of the lattice rectum with the formulae of the
length of the lattice rectum to b squared by a. Therefore, the length of the lattice rectum is 4. The formula of the length of the lattice rectum is 2b squared by a. 2b squared by a is equal to 4. On seeing the equation, you can find that 2 is common in the equation. Therefore, dividing the equation by 2, you will get b squared by a is equal to 2. Therefore, dividing the equation by 2. This equation becomes b squared by a is equal to 2. On cross multiplication, b squared is equal to 2a. So this will be your first equation. Equating the distance between the foci 4 root 2 with the formula of the distance between the foci to AE. So, equating the distance between the foci 4 root 2 with the formulae of the distance between the foci to AE. Equating 4 root 2 with 2AE. 2AE is equal to 4 root 2. Now, if you see in this equation, 2 is common. Therefore, if you divide the equation by 2, you will be getting AE is equal to 2 root 2. Dividing the equation by 2. So this will become AE is equal to 2 root 2. Now squaring this equation, AE the whole square is equal to 2 root 2 the whole square. Now this will become AE the whole square is equal to, if you square 2 root 2 the whole square, 2 will become 2 into 2 and square root of 2 will become 2. Therefore, you have 2 into 2 into 2. So, AE the whole square will give you 8. This will be your equation 2. From equation 1 and 2, we have b squared is equal to 2a and AE the whole squared is equal to 8. With the help of these two datas, we can substitute the value of these two datas in the equation. B squared is equal to a squared into 1 minus e squared. Therefore, b squared is equal to a squared into 1 minus e squared. A squared into 1 will give you a squared. A squared into minus e squared will give you minus a squared e squared, which is equal to a squared minus a squared e squared will give you ae the whole squared. Now, b squared is equal to a squared minus ae the whole squared.
Now, from equation 1, you have the value of b squared is equal to 2a equal to a squared. From equation 2, you know the value of ae the whole squared is equal to 8. Now, interchanging left hand side and right hand side, the sign won't change. Therefore, a squared minus 8 is equal to 2a. A squared minus 8 minus 2a is equal to 0. Now arranging the equation. A squared minus 2a minus 8 is equal to 0. This is an internal arrangement. Therefore, the sign wouldn't change. Now, you have the equation a squared minus 2a minus 8 equal to 0 in the form of a quadratic equation. Now, you will have to solve this equation to get the value of a. Once you have got the value of a, you can develop a squared. Now, you know the value of a squared, you know the value of a the whole square. Therefore, you can establish b squared. Once a squared, b squared is known to you, you can find the equation of the ellipse because you already know the center of the ellipse is equal to 0, 0 which is equal to h, k. Now we must factorize the equation a squared minus 2a minus 8 is equal to 0. A squared minus 2a minus 8 is equal to 0. Now you will have to factorize a squared minus 2a minus 8 is equal to 0 by splitting of the middle term. You must find two terms. If you add those two terms, you must get the middle term. If you multiply those two terms, you must get the product of the extreme terms. Now what is that? So this will give you minus 8 into a squared is minus 8a squared. Those two terms are minus 4a and plus 2a. So minus 4a and plus 2a will give you minus 2a. Minus 4a into plus 2a will give you minus 8a squared. So a squared minus 4a plus 2a minus 8 is equal to 0. Now what is common in this? A is common. A into a minus 4. Now what is common in this? Plus 2. Therefore the leftover will be a minus 4 is equal to 0. Therefore, the common factor will be a minus 4. The other factor is a plus 2 is equal to 0. A minus 4 is equal to 0, comma, a plus 2 is equal to 0. A minus 4 is equal to 0, therefore, a is equals to 4. A plus 2 is equal to 0, a is equals to minus 2. A is equal to minus 2 is invalid because the value of a cannot be negative. Since the equation of the ellipse is x minus h the whole squared by b squared plus y minus k the whole squared by a squared equal to 1. We know that the value of h and k is equal to 0. Therefore, the equation will be x squared by b squared plus y squared by a squared equal to 1. The entire equation is in positive. So, the value of a cannot be negative. A is equal to 4. A squared is equal to 16. By substituting the value of a is equal to 4 in equation 1. B squared is equal to 2a. The value of a is 4. Therefore, 2 into 4 will give you 8. The value of b squared is equal to 8. A squared is equal to 16. B squared is equal to 8. H,
comma k is equal to 0, 0. Equation of the ellipse with its major axis along y-axis is of the form x minus h the whole square by b square plus y minus k the whole square by a square is equal to 1. X minus, the value of h is 0 the whole square by the value of b squared is 8 plus y minus the value of k is equal to 0 the whole square. The value of a squared is 16 equal to 1. X minus 0 the whole square will give you x squared by 8 plus y minus 0 the whole square will give you y squared by 16 equal to 1. This will be your required equation of the ellipse. This problem has been done without skipping any steps in a very, very basic manner and in similar form. On seeing this question, find the equation of the ellipse with foci plus or minus 2, 0 and vertices plus or minus 3, 0 is similar to the problem what we have done in the exercise. In exercise 5.2, sum 2, subdivision 2, the foci was given as 0, plus or minus 4 and the ends of the major axis was given as 0, plus or minus 5. The ends of the major axis 0, plus or minus 5 is nothing but the vertices A dash as 0, plus or minus 5. Now, in this problem, the foci is given as plus or minus 2 comma 0 and the vertices plus or minus 3 comma 0. There the major axis was representing as y-axis. Here the major axis is representing as x-axis. Is that clear? Now shall we solve this problem? Right. Foci S dash is equal to plus or minus 2 comma 0, which denotes plus or minus AE comma 0. Vertices A dash is equal to plus or minus 3 comma 0, which is equal to plus or minus A comma 0. Now, AE is equal to 2. Therefore, AE the whole square is equal to 4. A is equal to 3. A squared is equal to 9. This will be your equation 1 and this will be equation 2. With the help of these two equations, you can substitute the value of AE the whole squared is equal to 4 and A squared is equal to 9. In the equation, B squared is equal to A squared into 1 minus E squared. Substituting equation 1 and equation 2 in B squared is equal to A squared into 1 minus E squared. By substituting the values of equation 1 and 2 in B squared is equal to A squared into 1 minus E squared. A squared into 1 is A squared. A squared into minus E squared is minus A squared E squared. This is equal to A squared minus, since the power is common, we take it as AE the whole square. Now substituting the value of A squared is equal to 9. Substituting the value of AE the whole square is equal to 4. 9 minus 4 will give you 5. Therefore, the value of B squared is equal to 5. We know the foci S dash as plus or minus 2 comma 0 and the vertices A dash as plus or minus 3 comma 0. On knowing these values, let us plot these values graphically and represent the position of the major axis of the ellipse. Now, this will be your x-axis and this will represent your y-axis. 1, 2, 3. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. 1, 2, 3. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Now, let us plot the foci. So, one value is 2, 0 and S dash will be equal to minus 2, 0. Then vertices A, they will be 3, 0 and A dash will be minus 3, 0. On plotting the given data, it is very clear that the major axis is along x-axis. On plotting the foci S dash plus or minus 2, 0 and the vertices A dash plus or minus 3, 0 lie on the x-axis. Therefore, on plotting these data, the conic obtained is a ellipse with its major axis along x-axis. Therefore, equation of the ellipse with its major axis along x-axis is of the form x minus h the whole square by a square plus y minus k the whole square by b square is equal to 1. On plotting the given data, the conic obtained is an ellipse with its major axis along x-axis. Therefore, the equation of the ellipse with its major axis along x-axis is of the form x minus h the whole square by a square plus y minus k the whole square by b square is equal to 1. We know the value of a square and b square, but the value of h and k has to be established. In order to find h and k, which represent the center of the ellipse, the center of the ellipse is nothing but the midpoint of the foci or the midpoint of the vertices. We will choose to our convenience. The center C is the midpoint of the vertices A dash, where A is 3, 0 as x1, y1 and A dash is minus 3, 0 as x2, y2. Center C is equal to midpoint of the vertices A dash. Now, what is the midpoint formula? x1 plus x2 by 2, comma y1 plus y2 by 2. What is the value of x1? 3. What is the value of x2? Minus 3 by 2. What is the value of y1? 0. What is the value of y2? 0 by 2. Plus 3 and minus 3 will give you 0 by 2. 0 plus 0 will give you 0 by 2. 0 by 2 will give you 0. Similarly, 0 by 2 will give you 0. Therefore, center C is equal to 0, 0, comma, that is equal to H, comma, K. We have found the values of A squared is equal to 9, B squared is equal to 5, and H, comma, K is equal to 0, comma, 0. A squared is equal to 9, B squared is equal to 5, comma, H, comma, K is equal to 0, comma, 0. Now, since the problem is representing its axis along major axis, equation of the ellipse with its major axis along x-axis is of the form x minus h the whole squared by a squared plus y minus k the whole squared by b squared is equal to 1. Equation of the ellipse with its major axis along x-axis is of the form x minus h the whole squared by a squared plus y minus k the whole squared by p squared is equal to 1. Now, x minus the value of h is 0 the whole square. The value of a squared is 9 plus y minus the value of k is 0 the whole square by 5 equal to 1. X minus 0 the whole square will give you x squared by 9 plus y minus 0 the whole square will give you y squared by 5 equal to 1. This will be your required equation of the ellipse. Dear students, we have done nearly 5 problems in determining the equation of the ellipse. We haven't covered using directrix to determine the equation of the ellipse. As a teacher, I have noticed that there is a confusion among the students in determining the major axis of the ellipse. For the major axis along x-axis, they write the major axis as y-axis or vice versa. In order to establish the position of the major axis as along x-axis, you try to take the data and represent the data by plotting graphically. That would enable you to determine whether the major axis is along x-axis or the major axis is parallel to x-axis or the major axis is along y-axis or the major axis is parallel to y-axis. Maybe the consumption of time will be more, but plotting graphically will enable you to establish the correct result in determining the major axis is along x-axis or y-axis. The equation of the major axis along the x-axis is of the form x minus h the whole squared by a squared plus y minus k the whole squared by b squared is equal to 1. Then the equation of the ellipse along y-axis, its major axis, will give you x minus h the whole squared by b squared plus y minus k the whole squared by a squared is equal to 1.